Hey guys, welcome to Outlaw Edge. The reason I'm doing the video tonight is I got a bunch of body hammers and they're loose, and there's a couple other things I was going to show you. But one of the most frustrating things is when you grab a body hammer and go to use it and the head is ready to fall off. And what happens is from having the heater on in the shop, and most of my hammers are wooden handles, and they end up getting loose where you can, you'll be hammering on something and the head will fly off or end up cracking the hammer handle or something else. But what I wanted to show you is do some quick maintenance on them. And I'm gonna pour this first, and this is just regular car antifreeze. And one of the things I wanted to say is when you treat your hammer with antifreeze, do not leave this out for little kids to drink or dogs, cats, animals to drink, because it's real sweet, and what'll happen is it'll kill them. So be real careful with that. And the other thing is if you're using boiled linseed oil and you put it on a rag, you throw it in the garbage, it'll catch on fire. It can bust by itself, so be careful with that too. But anyways, first thing I'm gonna do is some of the hammers, I'm gonna show you how to polish the heads real quick. And they're all beat up from years of abuse. And then what I do is I take a piece of sandpaper, and you can polish them this way, and it takes quite a long time. But you can also go to the belt sander. You can also shake your hammers this way. Polishing them up pretty quick. I'm not going to do all these. I'm just doing a quick video so that this doesn't last for a long time. That way I can show you guys what I got going on here. And then after that, I take some fine 220 grit paper, and you can use wet dry paper and use soap and water with this also, and polish them up to where you want them. And then this kind of smooths it out a little bit better. And there's some nicks and stuff in here. I'm not going to take all that out right now. And then the other thing I do is I'll take a die grinder with a polishing pad and some jeweler's rouge, and you want to get the jeweler's rouge carefully on the pad. And all I'm doing is spinning the die grinder and getting the jeweler's rouge on the pad, and then take the hammer, find a spot that's comfortable.
Or a vise.
Yeah, I can do that in a vise.
That would be the best idea.
And wear safety glasses. Don't be a dumbass. Oh God!
And maybe
now
even ear
YouTube's gonna kick me
protection.
off because of that. And the reason I'm doing this is, this video is to show hammer maintenance. A lot of the times when you go to use your hammers, it's a pain in the neck when you want to use them and the head's ready to fall off, and you're using the body hammers on a panel, and it's all nicked up, and then it ends up jacking up the panel because it's all scraped up. And I'm not going to do these perfect, but you can see how much of a difference just a few seconds makes a hammer. And you can polish these until they look like a mirror. So there's the first step. And then the second step is what I'm doing is I'm taking the hammers and I'm dropping them in for about 10 minutes or so, dropping them in antifreeze. And what that does is it crystallizes inside the hammerhead, and it'll swell up, and then water will dry out eventually. But the antifreeze, it'll stay like that for years.
I was under the impression it had to stay in overnight.
No, you can leave like 10, 15 minutes. It'll swell it up. It'll suck up into the wood because the wood is porous.
Right. Very cool.
And then the other thing is, you can take a punch. Where'd my punch and hammer go? You can take a punch and a hammer, and see how the wedges are right here? And this head is loose. Mm-hmm. So this is just hammer maintenance is all I'm doing. And smack the wedge down inside the hammer. And you don't have to hit it real hard. It'll just swell out the wood. Sorry, it's loud. It'll swell the wood out and then hold that wedge down in there. And this is nice and tight. And then do the same thing. Drop it into the antifreeze and leave it for anywhere from like 10 minutes to 30 minutes. And then the other thing, hammer maintenance. Take some boiled linseed oil. And I'm only using a little bit just to do a video. This is just a quick tip video. And what this does is this boiled linseed oil will treat the hammer handles, and it'll suck into the wood, and then what'll happen is it'll keep them nice and oiled up and fresh, and it'll keep them from drying out. And that's the problem with a lot of these hammers when they're sitting in here in the shop and the heat hits them. What'll happen is that the wood will dry out, and then that boiled linseed oil will keep the stuff from drying out. And then like I said, I'll hit these wedges down, get those tightened up, and then do the antifreeze trick. And then when you're done, you pull your hammer out, clean it up, and you'll have a nice tight hammer with a polished head. And then that way it won't be loose or whatever. But cool, quick tips, and that's all I'm gonna have for this video right now. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you guys like the video. If you give me a thumbs down, give me a reason why if you don't like the video. Anyways, subscribe and hit the bell. See ya.